Good morning, everyone. Jeff here at IH Parts America. It's August 23rd. Wanted to show you what has been the definition of my career project here, and it is ready to be sold. It's a 1974 Scout II, somewhat of a SS2 clone version here. Got the SS2 door inserts, bikini top. These are try to give you as much detail as I can here and remember. So literally in the story about it, back when I got back in business in 04, a guy, and I think in 05, came by and brought this Scout. I affectionately known it as Silver Scout because it was silver in color. And he stopped by when I was still working out of the parents' pole barn in Loomis and wanted me to do some work. So I drove it up and down the road. And he's like, what do you think? Just needs a few $100s worth of work. I said, dude, this thing needs thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of work. It was just terrible the way it drove and handled. If it was already spring over and it was already had a reverse shackle done to it, but it was all poorly done. So anyways, I ended up buying it from the guy for like, man, $1,500-$1,600 back then. And thought, hey, I'll just kind of work on it on my time off. And, when I'm not busy working on other customers' rigs, and eventually I'll collect my paycheck on it. Well, after about 320 hours into it, all documented, it got parked because I got too busy. Literally sat in the parents' pole barn for over 10 years. And finally I drug it up to the new shop, where it got stored again for a couple more years until literally it was finally ready to get back to work on it. So it got a paint job, and finally fired it up and all that. Got a 345 in it. I'll get to the underhood here in a minute. I had Herculiner in it, and it wasn't sticking very well from way back when. So this part, I did mostly this build myself, but I did have a couple things at the shop done by the guys. So they ended up stripping all the Herculiner out and putting in our usual lizard skin treatment. And definitely shows little white flakes and dust here, but at least it is coated very well and helps with heat and quietness. Again, it's spring over with reverse shackle. This was like before even had CPT was even a thought in my mind. All this stuff was done and handmade at Bilstein shocks, 373 gears, and it does have a Detroit locker in the back, which for streetability isn't all that great, to be honest with you. I'd rather have a little limited slip in there, but it definitely has positive traction from the Detroit. It's got some Mickey Thompson 35-inch 1250-15 Baja MTZs. I forget what brand wheels these are, but they're just a fake bead lock. Inside here, these are all autometer gauges. They're phantom gauges. No radio, pretty basic there. Back in the day, I was buying these eBay wiring harnesses. That's actually the fuse panel right there in the dash where it got mounted. And over here to the front end, this was one of the first reverse shackles. I wouldn't say one of the first. I've been doing them for a while, but I started doing them this angled way back in the day, and that's literally an old skid plate that I had hand formed and bent into the fangs you see there. And I believe these front springs were on it, and they were Wagoneer springs, but I never did verify because they're not quite Scout II front springs, but they're pretty darn close. Ended up, like I said, redoing the reverse shackle. Got our old school bump stops on it, the good rubber ones, and the Ford shock towers, some more Bilstein shocks. It does have Hysteer on it. Knuckles have been turned. It was a GM housing. And this one's got a power lock in the front. So kind of tall gears for an off-roader, but if you do decide to off-road it, it'll have plenty of traction. The 345 basically was a re-ring job on the bottom end. It was in good shape. put all fresh bearings, rings in it, modified the oil pan, tweaked the oil pump for a little more pressure, lowered the mount, the motor mount, and the transmission for better drive shaft angles. I think you can see the custom cross member there, and you'll also see the see it in pictures that will go with this video here on our Bring a Trailer ad, where we plan on posting this if all goes correct. So everything's literally new on it. Got some of our portable off-road bumpers on it. Could put a winch if you want. This has got the hybrid GM Ford style brakes in the front. Internal locking hubs, a lot stronger than the external ones that came on the Scout. Still a little dark this morning. See if I can get this hood here opened up. So under the hood, so the 345, I did port the heads and had them rebuilt professionally in a machine shop way back in the day. It's got a Prestolite distributor in it. Old school Carter AFB. The cooling system's pretty customized. It's got a flex fan, which I usually don't run nowadays. Again, a lot of the stuff I did a long time ago, but still works and functions well. It's a full float radiator. It's a 2-pass radiator. As you'll see, the top hose is on the other side, and that's a 4-cylinder water neck and some custom hose I did back in the day. So the coolant goes into the radiator, across, down, back over, and into the motor. So it seems to be working pretty good. I must have a 195 thermostat in it, because that's pretty much where it's been running. Little coil mounted on the firewall. There's our Ford solenoid, so you don't have to worry about heat soak. Like I said, it's all motors lowered in there and drop back a little bit. Better drive shaft angles. Come around here on the other side. Trying to see what we got going here on this side. It's got Hydro Boost brakes. Didn't mention it's got a big number 3 Esky cam in it. So not a lot of engine vacuum with that big cam. Sounds good, runs awesome, but low vacuum, so we had to put Hydro Boost to this thing. Now it stops, it'll throw you through the windshield if you really want to. Got a low car throttle cable assembly and kick down, so all that's real smooth. I did already start this thing up this morning, as I've still been playing with the choke and doing fine tuning on it. It literally does not even have, where am I here? Right there. Come on, I can't get it in there. Not even 100 miles on it. I'm still driving it, it'll have 100 miles by the time I get to the shop. Has no lifter kick upon hard up. And runs really smooth. Come on back here, it's got a nice little lumpy idle. Thing just needs to be run. It's been a long time in the build, so really nice to get to this point. I would continue to own it and enjoy it, but I got enough of these darn things. I can't even drive them all. You know, all the ones in the background. Again, real snappy motor. Pressure at a cold idle. Running at about 800 RPM. Again, big cam. Not a lot of vacuum there. Voltmeter gauge. So what I'm going to do here, bear with me now. Shut the hood. Pull this guy forward, and we're gonna go hit the road here. Again, the 727 torque light's been fully rebuilt. Again, a 20 transfer case, fully rebuilt. Got some of our sliders here that work great for steps we're getting in. Bear with me now, I gotta shut the old shop down here so we can get to the drive tour, head up to IHPA. Welcome up. Sorry about this, but not enough light out here in the morning. Let me grab my lunch box. Again, real good running Scout. Been driving it the last few days. Again, trying to get it all dialed in. And every trip it gets better and better. Adjusting the choke and all that. Grab my cup of coffee here. Try not spilling it, I hope. Alright, let me get buckled up. Sip of coffee. Hope I don't spill any. And let's get some headlights on here. And nicely lit up. So we try to, when we sell these, show you a driving video to show you how well they drive. I mean, we don't just build them for looks. If they don't perform, well, what's the point, you know? And a little Detroit locker, drags the tire around. Granny shifts real nice. In the third gear. And being topless, you love wind in your hair. This is your vehicle. Driving the little country back roads here at 40. Again, with spring over, reverse shackle, thinking thing would be leaning and all over the road, but just cruising it with one hand on the wheel. Nice driving Scout. Hoping you can hear me through all the wind here. Downshifts nicely. Brakes really good. Lock up all fours with no problems, you can see there. So just trying to show you how well this Scout performs. If you decide to slap your whole hard cash down, you know you're not just getting some janky thing that looks good, but you can't drive it down the road. You're getting something that you can literally use. You'll have fun in. Shipping around the corners. Gotta watch out for the tree guys. Highway here and end the video, but I hope you like seeing these driving videos to know what you're bidding on, that these things are no joke. You know, we really stand behind what we build. And again, I've been building this one for myself. It's been a personal project, literally a career project coming to an end. 17 years in the making, and it's time for this one. It's done. Put on the rear view mirror the other day. Again, just making some final cold start adjustments on it, and it's ready to go to a new home, or new forever home, and be sold. Here at the stoplight, try to show you a few other things while we wait for the light to turn green. Glove box has been cut so you can get inside access, even though despite the roll cage in it. Got a little cigarette lighter port. Leave it on. So the 373 gears and 35-inch tires. Steered a little tall, but it still gets going pretty good. Not bad, pretty light Scout, we're not having a hard top in the doors. Again, expecting it to be running about a 195 thermostat in it. Probably when I got in it, that's not where it runs. I'm going to end this video. Again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them. You can give us a call. 530-273